Твой ход оставил.
Уже в бой вступил?
Да.
Ладно. Так. Блин, я спрятаться. Так. Так. Ну, давай так сделаю.
Найс.
А с кем я в бою еще? Я что-то не вижу врагов.
Вон впереди женщина.
А. Окей.
Don't waste a step.
Так.
It's not over. Come to the skull. No traps, please.
Тут еще интересно.
Нет.
I can't hold them off much longer. It's not over. Come to the skull.
Подожди, а тут ничего нет на этой скале? Ну ладно. Карате.
А. Кунг-фу панда, да? А.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger.
Another tentacled freak. What in the hells is this?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you.
Нас обманывали все это время.
Help me.
Что-то кажут.
Ну, мне кажется, это он, скорее всего. Ты
Тебе
предлагаешь...
кажется. Так легко поверишь?
You saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove.
Я не помню
You
такого.
saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live.
Ну это все
Last
знают у
time
нас
you
как бы.
were here, though it brought
У нас как бы
lucky
песни
thrall.
слагают, легенды там.
Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Что, будем делать умножение мысли?
У тебя хватит, у тебя есть что-то?
Ну, я не знаю,
Надо
может
просто
повезет.
Попробуй. Смотри, сейчас 120 будет. А, я не вижу, кстати, что ты
Мы
делаешь.
проиграли.
Как ты мог?
Да, вдохновение. Теперь я прошел.
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the mind flayer's awareness is everywhere. You blunder in its presence like a warg pup learning to walk.
You must be joking. I am telling you my thoughts directly into your head. But if you insist on taking a look for yourself, be my guest.
Nothing in your colorful existence to date could have prepared you for this. As the horror subsides, you are left with only one coherent thought. You must do whatever you can to subdue the Githyanki.
Happy? Now, join me. Fight!
Давай.
Together, we can turn the tide.
Теперь мы сражаемся вместе с 10 лидами. До чего дошла жизнь? Ой, Старин, как ты мог?
Как ты смог?
Он не знаю, что сделать, спрячься, не знаю. И то не смог, ну ладно. Эх, ну
Это
хотя бы так,
печально. Это печально.
да. Это очень печально.
Пора бить лиц. Обидно так-то.
Мозг был из тех.
Просто был мозгом.
А чё так больно? У меня пол лица уже нет. Вов, поможешь с хилом? Что-то лицо снесло.
А. Почему я стою здесь?
Я не знаю.
Хочешь прикол? Я прыгнуть не могу.
Заебись.
Ну тут бежишь вперед, вот входишь в катсцены. Даешь добежать нормально.
Да нет зелья полета.
Хороший вопрос. Я бахнул. А, у меня все равно недостаточно энергии. Надо было делать
Рывок
скорость.
сделай тогда. Нет рывка. Ладно, придется обычным хилом.
Подожди. Да, в любом случае придется обычным хилом. Все, ладно, я не дотягиваюсь.
Так, надо что там хилиться. И раз вы так больно бьете, я, пожалуй, спрячусь, ребят. Больно что-то. Набить, наверное, лучше.
О, там еще сверху. Давай попробуем. Надо было хилиться.
Ты совершил ошибку. И эта ошибка стоила тебе дорого.
For Orpheus! Attacker!
О, он меня толкнул. Или что это? Вот я зря подошел. Так,
О, вот и я.
не знаю, этим удар.
Но мне движения недостаточно. Может быть.
Ну ладно, похеру, добью просто. Или не добью. Чем же убить?
Решил ничем.
Я ударил луком. Точнее, арбалетом.
Да ладно. Конечно, прикол был.
Да, у меня тут прикол был. Наконец-то.
Но надо ту, которую сверху бить.
Да. Как ее бить? По крайней мере, все равно нечем бить.
Ой, блин, я забыл тех залутать. Вот.
Let's try this.
Подхили сейчас Тариона? Или как?
Я себя буду хилить.
Ладно. Че убить не могу? Блин. Я, кажется, совершил ошибку.
Так прыгнул, да.
Большую ошибку.
Ошибся.
Ошибка стоила Стариону.
Эта ошибка стоила тебе ошибки. Что-то 35% не генерается. Просто на хилочку покушаю, все. Вот так вот. Ладно, попробую. Серьезно, 0? Ну это обидно, конечно. Не знаю. Ладно. Может, стоило спрятаться. Она хотя бы спустилась.
Prince.
Говорит наш этилит карманный.
Давай-ка, знаешь, как сделаем?
Так, а где эта хрень? Вот он. О, убил. Где еще один?
Могу.
А вот он.
Вот он.
Прыгнул. Ну да, выстрели в него.
Ладно. Пробуем так. Да ё-моё, серьезно?
Ну, дар сдался неудачно. О,
Понял. Кстати.
я отбросил противника.
О, начал
Зря ты
прощай.
отбросил противника, я... А ладно,
Что ты там говорил?
ничего, ладно. Я Старионом хотел ударить, ответить, ну ладно.
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer. Yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
Давай, кто ты?
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become.
Секунду. Я хочу кое-что найти. Не могу найти свою пульт. Куда я пульт задевал?
Все, проект раскрутится. Не будет мультика.
Куда я его задел? Блин, я без понятия, куда он делся. Да не, в принципе, пульт не обязательно, просто... Где он? Да, вот, все, я нашел его. Все, я вернул его. Так. Одним из избранных колоний. Ну да, давай третья, наверное.
Ну ладно.
Not all mind flayers are alike. I have always valued freedom above all else. In my past life and present. It has been a burning need within me for as long as I can remember. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside and found the Githyanki. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prism's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue the Githyanki and find allies in the outer world. You. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prism. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I'm glad you think so. I agree. But there is one thing that you have that I do not. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. Yours continues to limit you. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change.
Но я бы не хотел становиться вот таким.
Это
I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you.
Пас.
You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Я не понял, он сказал незначительный. Это что значит?
Я не знаю.
The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not?
Давай загуглим. Я что-то боюсь нажимать. Вгрузиться придется. Что-то непонятно, нифига.
Ну как, нашел что-нибудь?
Ну, пока читаю. Я тоже гуглю, я что-то не могу понять.
Я нашел, что это даст тебе силы, но у тебя вот черные вены вздувшиеся на лице. Ну, вообще по всему телу. Это даст тебе дополнительные плюшки. Головастик с астральным прикосновением даст вам больше способностей летидов, такие как Beast Shape, Фрактор Физ и многие другие. Также получит дополнительную харизму без потери очков в других категориях. Я скажу так, я все равно ничего оттуда не использую, так что значит личный диалог.
Я не помню, я стану тильдом или нет?
Давай посмотрим. Там живой.
Да, я читаю.
Ладно, симулятор чтения.
Ну, не знаю, потом сейчас загрузимся, бля, я не знаю.
Well, certainly brave of you. I'll say that much.
You continue to surprise me. Your mind is truly something special. Now, hold out your hand.
Ну, давай.
It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
Ну да, прочитаю.
The tadpole screams for growth with painful intensity. It has been starved of life, of purpose. It welcomes your probing like a void waiting to be filled. If you let it, it will evolve you, just as the Emperor said.
A tadpole, nurtured by the psionic energy of the astral plane. Cocooned here for millennia, it has become extraordinary.
Не знаю, что будет.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens, its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel
А
different.
у тебя глаза черные.
Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
You are. When
Всё.
your allies see
Буду в конце игры будешь вот так выглядеть.
I hope you encourage them to try it for themselves. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the
Ладно, все.
What to do?
И сильно уродливо стал выглядеть.
Наверное, чистками диалог. Сними маску
I'm
сначала.
not here for chit-chat.
Не до разговоров.
I need a moment for the two of us.
Пошли отсюда, не знаю.
Подожди, дай я маску сниму, или что? Ну или уходим.
Ну снимай.
Подожди, я могу с этим принцем взаимодействовать.
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable, but impenetrable. We
Кстати,
wait. The Githyanki
Еще есть вариант
prince is
убить его, а есть
assailed
вариант
as a corpse,
пойти с ним в союзе.
but for the murder
there is nothing further I can do for you right now.
Че, он молчит?
Feels one.
Как я выгляжу, ну-ка.
should mind my step.
Эти трупы, которых мы... Я хочу с кем поговорить. Ребят,
Больше никто не хочет разговаривать.
So, we owe our lack of tentacles to one of the very creatures that kidnapped us. At least my lack of tentacles. I'm not sure what's next for you. Don't look at me like that. I know what you're going to say. The answer is no. No.
Ну, была бы у тебя белая кожа, было бы лучше видно твои черные вены.
блин, ну да, что-то не видно прям особых изменений таких.
Ну что, у тебя глаза черные стали. В игру ты смачищение.
Capability, alacrity, quickness. The feeling the world was made for you. Such is the potential of the illithid kind. He sees it, yet he fears it still.
Где все?
Fuck off! I can tell what you're doing. You will not break me down. If we master the tadpoles, it will be different. But right now, that mastery depends on an illithid and its Githyanki's slave. I'm not going to submit to this. Don't ask me again.
Блин, непонятно, как я выгляжу, если честно. Может, в редактор зайти, где вот это зеркало?
Вот оно.
Видимо, загрузиться все-таки, что-то я не знаю. Бля, что-то мне не нравится.
Делай скрин.
Так, почему не тот скрин? Скрин. Возможно, что это, наверное... Что будет, если стать лидом? Так, что будет?
Какие урод.
Не, я с игры гружусь.
Что, будем грузиться или как? Серый.
Короче, смотри, так, мы хотим какую концовку? Мы захватываем мир? Или мы... Или мы добрячки?
Ну, мне кажется, мы в целом всю игру за добрых играли. Или ты хочешь?
Ну, мы захватываем мир или нет?
Не знаю.
Или мир, добро, позитив?
Мир, добро, позитив. Или захват мир.
Кого мы отыгрываем?
Интересно, сколько я снесу, если я тебя ударю? Ладно, скучно, да. Пойду делом займусь.
Ладно, похеру, оставим так. Да где Карвах? Я слышу, что Карвах вроде насрать.
Все, спать, типа.
Сейчас, подожди, а где Карвах? Или тут нет
Знаешь,
Карвах?
что никого нет,
Ладно, пойдем тогда в
кроме
кровать.
наших 4 персонажей.
Пошли спать тогда. Я теперь могу летать, кстати.
А почему что до харчи?
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact or astral prism the whole
Она
time we've had.
покрасилась, может, она об этом говорит?
Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? Fine. What's on your mind?
А мы не будем говорить по поводу вот того, что у тебя на голове?
You saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
Мы не будем говорить то, что у тебя на голове? Мы это вообще не обсудим,
Ну, у меня
да?
маска одета вообще. Какая разница? Если с маской бегаю, так выу.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe.
Это дело мы не можем его
It suits
обсудить.
her.
А я хочу об этом поговорить.
Yes,
Может, мне хочется
and at a
сделать тебе
great
комплимент.
cost, partial seromorphosis. I won't begrudge you your choice. As for me, though, I'm not ready. I might
Мне
never
очень
be.
нравится.
Я его уговорил. А,
The coast is ever my priority. If you think we
Yeah.
need this, very well. I will avail myself of the
Я все
astral
еще в нейтральном
tadpole's
положении
powers.
для нее. Обидно.
Смотри, сейчас. Смотри, так ладно, подожди, так. Смотри, какая у меня
О,
способность есть. Я теперь могу летать. Без магии.
рада тебя.
Я могу летать.
Где дед?
Gods. A mind flayer's been getting their tentacles all over our dreams this whole time. I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all.
Что ты там делаешь?
Танцую. А ты?
Still alive, so that's progress.
Хожу, брожу.
А,
Это мне какая-то камера улетела, я не могу никак.
я могу интеллект в ХП превращать. Понимаешь, у меня уже столько этих действий появилось, что они просто не помещаются сюда. Ладно. А, скажется, с гитянкой обидится.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prism.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle. Or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. We meet Voss in the city, and we obtain the key to freeing Orpheus from his prison. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Very well.
О, будешь принимать личинку?
It also
Yeah.
promises to break us
Будешь
beyond
принимать
repair.
личинку?
This
Не знаю.
ossified parasite does not make us more, but less. Do you not feel the cold
Так их
where
нет.
once there was heat? The void
Нет, ты типа,
where your
по идее,
soul once
как мои
resided?
способности тоже должен летать научиться. Объяснение. Видишь, какое у меня объяснение? Понимаешь, убеждение просто слишком огромное.
Galik, the Elder Brain. It could be the harbinger of the grand design and the doom of the Githyanki. End time of
Че,
the
может,
16
скорее будешь
years.
говорить, и мы пойдем дальше? Просто
Very
время-то
well.
идет, я уже
I
заканчивал
will
даже.
accept what this
Часто прошел.
Tafki crashed.
Нам бы хоть
Да,
Каю
надо
видеть.
поговорить. Это что с персонажами надо поговорить. Я даже с этой не могу, к сожалению, поговорить.
Вот и
но
не надо тебе с ней, она не будет твою личинку понимать.
Не будет?
Нет.
Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was up. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new... He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
Так, стоп.
Hey, soldier. Ah, great powers, huh? I'm skeptical, especially if this thing wants to turn you into, what, a half squid? Then again, you can pull it off better than most.
А чё так легко? У всех там...
You've got to be kidding. You really want me to become a partial illithid? Wasn't a decade in Avernus punishment enough? Oh, I'm that easy to manipulate, am I? Where's that bloody
Все всех
worm?
уродами сделать, да?
Stick it in my eye before I change my mind.
Смотри, у нас теперь еще один... Чё,
Why
стал
are we
уродом?
slowing down?
Нет. Ну, это только ты у нас один урод.
Тебе смешно, да?
Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
Старый он не хочет.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves and shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her. I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt the biology of a mind flayer. It certainly doesn't seem to have done you any harm, or rather, not yet done me any harm. Still, there are undoubtedly risks to such a transformation.
Что сделал?
Я ушел из лагеря.
Блядь, я еще не договорил.
Так почему ты уходишь из лагеря? Он уже независим.
Там такая сцена, походу, началась. Ты понимаешь, что мы еще ни разу в этом городе не были? Там явно катсцена начнется.
Ну, просто стоять и ждать, пока ты поговоришь, как-то скучно. Я хочу хотя бы город увидеть, перед тем, как спать пить.
Надо бы договорить хотя бы.
Я откуда знал, что... Видишь, катсцены нет. Офигеть, да?
Вот.
Это катсцена называется? Серый, это называется геймплей.
By a rational cheer. You are rot.
Baldur's Gate is right over the hills. And so is Cazador.
Мы вообще перевели это ничего, чего у него на спине написано.
An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks.
А я тут при чем?
We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. My, you sweetheart. Then there isn't a moment to waste. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazadors change their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
Ты убежал уже, да?
Конечно.
Ты девок уже начался там?
Я с какой-то девчонкой поговорил, да и дал ей еды, но мама потеряла.
Так, я хочу поговорить еще с лагерем с кое-кем. У нас лагерь по-другому выглядит теперь. Скажу я тебе так, друг.
Давай, договаривай, я пойду спать.
Soldier, this is it. We're almost to the city. First through Worm's Crossing, then on to the lower city. It smells the exact same. 10 years on, but still home. Incredible.
Так, с этой...
Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see the city. The Harper safe house I spoke of is on the bridge at Worm's Crossing. Danthelon's dancing axe. Information. The Chosen have a head start on us. I'd like to know what
У
they
нас
done
в
with it.
лагере
You think me
девочка
lonely?
какая-то.
In
Которая
truth,
мама
I
потеряла.
prefer
Смотри.
travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like with allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in.
Наверное, сейчас это самый милый лагерь, который был.
That
Посмотри,
speaks
у
well
нас
of your
даже есть
taste.
курятники.
I've heard my share of bad. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, help won't come from the history books or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, Then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in it, and if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
Так, с кем еще не говорил? Так, с Тарион вроде не надо говорить.
Worm's Crossing. The welcome map. This is it. I'm almost home. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. It's something of a gamble, true, but if I can win, if I can... So yes, I do worry about facing him. But if we can get his attention, finding the ritual's location will be much easier, and that...
We can talk later.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword?
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. 100 years. She's a formidable woman. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. I mourn the man I knew. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had... When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certain. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw... He told me we'd be together now. Said, I found last light within the shadows. Made a by the... He's gone now. But I suppose the...
When I first met you, saving yourself from Ceramorphosis was your greatest wish. And yet now, you've stepped closer to embracing it. I trust your leadership and respect your decisions, but I truly hope this is not something we come to regret. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well. And Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves. Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected. What would you like to know? Anytime.
Could we maybe stay here?
Вов, тут?
Да.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever
Просто,
you want.
честно, как-то странно, что она в лагере.
The next
Ладно, пусть будет, не
that
пофиг.
tries to pick my pocket will lose its hand.
Ну просто как-то странно, что мы встретили рандомную девочку, позвали ее в лагерь.
О, Ментара хочет ее уже покалечить. Она хочет ей руку отрубить.
Half of the children here are already mutilated.
Ну,
I am
кстати,
reminded of the Brehren, the stench streets of Menzoberranz. And despite the destitution, there is profit and opportunity
Ментара,
to be
короче, хочет
found
ее
in
убить
such
уже.
places, if one is willing to
Интересно,
wade through
интересно.
the squalor. Yes. I only know it through his... I expect it will live up to its legend. You have never visited?
аристократ.
Да.
You are of aristocratic blood. I thought as much. But whatever house matron you sprang from, your upbringing cannot compare with mine. I am a Bainray, born into the city's most ancient and powerful house. Like you, I lived in Kuelarzor, high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface. And I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself. And I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins. Yes. My house trained me to be a soldier in Loth's service, and my mother showed me how to survive the perils of society. She taught me to be resilient and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share. We will need every advantage to survive the battles that are to come. And my illithid parasite is all... If this superior tadpole is capable of unlocking my mind's full, its influence on you is plain to see. You are sublime. I will be unstoppable.
Так, теперь с этим.
Civilization beckons at last. It's no water deep, but Baldur's Gate is a respectable runner-up. Or at least a close third. I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt the biology of a mind flayer. It certainly doesn't seem to have done you any harm. Or rather, not yet done me any harm. Still, there are undoubtedly risks to such a transformation. If this is what the fates have offered to aid our cause, then who am...
Так, этого уговорил.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhap the girl has left to hew her own path. She left you a letter. Thou couldst read it, or thou couldst not. Such is the way. Hast thou other business?
Хочешь письмо прочитать девочке, которая ушла-то?
Конечно.
Да. Читаешь?
А, нет, сам читай.
Так ты чё, девочка? Ты чё, тебе не важна была, что ли, девочка?
Вот, ну, я прочитал, но про себя.
Печально.
Ай, а где это письмо?
У меня в инвентаре лежит.
У тебя много писем.
Я там отсортировал, вроде должно самое верхнее быть сейчас.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some
Спасибо, что начинаешь диалог, когда я читаю.
I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
Короче, нам благодарит, идет в кожу там Балдура.
Please, talk to Yenna. I don't like talking. Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me. Please don't.
Даже кошки не любят.
Чё не любят-то? Я красивый, бля. Какой красивый. Ну чуть-чуть что-то там.
А где мои магические способности, полет и прочее?
Ты хочешь паразита сожрать?
Нет, я хочу летать.
Так в смысле, чтобы летать надо этого паразита сожрать.
Я хочу летать без паразита.
Ну, блин, ну тебе паразит нужен, друг мой.
Ну так ты все съел.
Так нет, подожди, я не понял, а как сделать так, чтобы ты тоже мог летать? Я что-то не понял прикола. Как это работает? Хочешь магию дам тебе полета?
Все, мы закончим. Закончим разговаривать.
Да.
Я предлагаю закончить на сегодня.
Окей.
Жди-ка. Кое-что хочу проверить.
Чё, охуел? Хочешь, чтобы я вот это устроил, да, сейчас?
А меня там нет, я уже Alt F4 нажал.
Мразь. За что ты меня ударил?
Просто так.
Кто так делает?
Ради веселья.
Тебе весело, да?
Мне да.
Весело вот так брать топором, нападать на человека, да?
Да, это
Весело?
очень весело. Мне весело.
Мы с Уиллом не успели поговорить. Че ливнул? Что ты наделал?